It all started with what should have been a simple agreement between two teenage girls who once called each other best friends. Emily and Davina and Ashley Wright had shared laughs, secrets, and dreams of growing up together. But when life brought them back under the same roof, those old memories turned into a heated courtroom story that neither of them would forget. What began as a promise of friendship quickly unraveled into a fight over $300, bruised pride, and a lesson in how quickly trust can break when money enters the picture. Emily had just returned to town after moving away for a while. With no stable place to stay, she reached out to Ashley, her old friend who she thought would be happy to help. Ashley lived in a small apartment, and according to Emily, kindly offered her a room for a month's rent of $300. It wasn't much, but to Emily it meant stability. She packed her things, gathered her savings, and moved in. On the very first night, she handed Ashley the full $300. No written agreement, no receipt, just faith between friends. For a few days, things seemed fine. They shared the bedroom, laughed about old times, and scrolled through social media like before. But something started to shift. The cozy reunion began to feel tense. According to Ashley, Emily's behavior made her uncomfortable. She claimed Emily was walking around naked, talking about drugs, and disrespecting her space. Emily, on the other hand, said she was simply living normally, never doing anything inappropriate. It was a classic she said situation. One of those small personal disagreements that explode when both sides feel betrayed. By the 5th day, Ashley had had enough. She told Emily to leave. No long discussion, no negotiation, just a sharp request to pack her things and go. Emily was stunned. She had paid for the entire month up front. There were still 25 days left. She tried reasoning with Ashley, saying that it wasn't fair to take her money and kick her out after less than a week. But Ashley was firm. She wanted Emily gone. Feeling helpless and angry, Emily left the apartment and decided to take the issue somewhere else. To television's most famous courtroom. Judge Judy, on the day of the hearing. Both girls stood before Judge Judy in that bright, intimidating courtroom. The judge took one look at the two 19-year-olds and sighed with that familiar mix of amusement and exasperation. "Oh my goodness," she said. "Here you are, just the two of you. No evidence, no writing, no pictures, and nothing. Just the two adorable little girls who used to be friends." The audience chuckled softly, but the tension between Emily and Ashley was heavy. Judge Judy had seen it all before. Friendships falling apart over petty sums and pride. Emily told her story first. Calmly but emotionally, she explained that Ashley had agreed to let her stay for $300 a month. She said she paid in full the day she arrived and was suddenly kicked out 5 days later for reasons she didn't understand. When Judge Judy asked her if she gave all the money at once, Emily said yes, all $300 on the first day. There was no paper trail, but she swore she paid. Then it was Ashley's turn. She didn't deny receiving the money, but gave a completely different explanation. "She didn't pay me rent," Ashley said confidently. "She gave me that money for doing her makeup several times. I'm a professional makeup artist," the courtroom murmured. Judge Judy leaned forward sharply. "Pay careful attention to me," she warned. Ashley nodded nervously but tried to continue. "I mean, she also said she didn't want to stay for free," Ashley added quickly, trying to sound reasonable. "I didn't ask her for money, but she insisted." Judge Judy's eyes narrowed. It was clear she wasn't buying that. "So you're saying she gave you $300 as a random gift after doing her makeup, and not for rent?" Ashley hesitated. "Yeah and no. I mean..." But before she could finish, the judge raised her hand. "Stop, this isn't an audition. And I already have the job," she snapped, earning a wave of laughter from the audience. The facts were now simple. Ashley admitted she received $300 from Emily. Emily was asked to leave after only a few days. Ashley might have had her reasons, but she was the one who ended the arrangement. And according to Judge Judy, if you take rent money for a month and then tell someone to leave after 5 days, you owe them the balance, no matter how uncomfortable you felt. When the judge finally ruled, her voice was sharp and decisive. "Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300, she declared. "That's all. Thank you. Bye." The case was over in seconds, and the audience broke into light applause. Emily smiled slightly, relieved. Ashley looked frustrated, muttering that she didn't owe her anything. But Judge Judy had spoken, and that was that. Outside the courtroom, the two young women stood in the hallway, facing the cameras. Emily spoke first, saying she just wanted what was fair. She paid rent and deserved her money back. Ashley, shaking her head, insisted that Emily's behavior made her home unbearable and that the money wasn't really rent. But deep down, both of them knew the damage was already done. Their friendship, once full of laughter and trust, had ended with lawyers, lights, and national television. In the end, the story of Emily and Ashley wasn't just about $300. It was about how easily misunderstandings can spiral when pride replaces communication. It was about how friends can become strangers when respect fades away. And it was a reminder that no matter how small the dispute, when you invite money into friendship, the rules of kindness and loyalty often get replaced by the rules of business. Judge Judy saw hundreds of stories like this. Young people learning hard lessons about responsibility, honesty, and trust. But this one stood out because it showed how even a small disagreement between two teenagers could mirror the bigger conflicts of adulthood. The courtroom became a stage where friendship, money, and truth collided under bright lights. When the cameras turned off and the audience left, Emily walked away with her $300 victory, but perhaps a little sadness too. Ashley, on the other hand, learned that standing by your pride can sometimes cost you more than cash. It can cost you a friend. And for everyone watching, the message was clear. When it comes to money and friendship, always write it down, always keep it clear, and never forget that trust, once broken, is the hardest thing to buy back.